our God. A celebration filled with music and moving memories of the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
For more than 5 hours, dignitaries, family, and friends paying tribute to the man who helped shape the civil rights movement while fighting for change in our country. We will show you many of the uplifting moments from today's tribute.
First, though, we need to get a check of the weather. Let's take a live look outside. We've had some rain, and there's been some severe weather in parts of the Midwest. There's a nice look at a slow-moving DuSable Lakeshore Drive on this Friday.
A lot of lights.
Yeah, right. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott joins us here with the ABC7 AccuWeather Alert forecast. Hopefully most of the severe weather, although it doesn't look like it's moved out yet.
Yeah,
we have nothing severe right now, which is good. The storm's under severe limits, but we're also lighting up still with the thunderstorm action south of Chicago right now, northwest Indiana. You're getting the brunt of this very heavy rain. Wind gusts up to about 30-35 miles can be expected. And we're watching this cell here, which is going to really race through Chesterton. This is going to bring in some very gusty winds, also the heavy rain, and this stretches back through parts of Lake and Porter counties here, crossing over I-65. Because of all of the rain that some areas have seen in just a short amount of time, flash flood warning is still in effect here right along I-80, stretching back towards Tinley Park, down I-57 there until 8:45. We zoom in, some areas picking up a quick 3 to 4 inches of rain. Truly in just about 45 minutes to 2 hours. So we are going to watch for some ponding on area roads, but the good news is what you see here is what you get. The worst of the weather and the storms right now in northwest Indiana, Lake and Porter, that will continue to move to the east. These are moving at about 30-35 miles per hour. And then once we get these storms, which stretches down towards the south there, east of I-57, approaching I-65 here, Newton and Jasper, these will be moving through. Then we will have quiet conditions for the remainder of tonight before midnight. More storms expected overnight. Some areas already picking up about 1/4 of an inch up to an inch. But again, those isolated spots, a quick 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. More on the way overnight with this system that will continue to impact us. We'll time it all out, what it means for your weekend plans as well, coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Thanks, Cheryl. See you in a few. You can get the latest forecast anytime with the free ABC7 Chicago News app. Scan that QR code on your screen. You'll get a link to download. Now to the people's celebration for Reverend Jesse Jackson. This was one of the final farewells for the iconic civil rights leader.
And many spoke of the struggles Reverend Jackson faced, but he kept on keeping on, giving a voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, a dignified, heartfelt, and final farewell for a civil rights titan.
May the spirit of Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson rest upon a new generation of prophets who are yet to come forth from their mother's womb. We offer these prayers of farewell this day.
Every praise is to our God. Every word.
And so now we are in the midst of a choice to choose hope over despair, light over darkness, love over hate.
Mama Jackson, your husband kneeled down and he looked me in my eyes. And that man said, "You are somebody."
I'm here more as a friend than a former president. He was my friend when I needed it. And I ask you to ask yourself how you can do more by being a better friend and a more effective one.
Well, I go to my brother. Reverend Jackson was impatient. He did not waste time waiting. Even when the doors in front of him were barred and bolted, even if those on the other side hesitated or even ignored him, he always devised a way through.
Jesse kept hope alive for us in his lifetime. And we've got to continue to do it in our lifetime for our children, because there's nothing beyond our capacity when we work together. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So stand up and finish his job.
Wow, very powerful moments and very memorable. Of course, those in attendance were moved and inspired by today's celebration for Reverend Jackson.
Our Trey Ward talked with them as they walked out of the House of Hope. He continues our coverage tonight.
We know that attendees began lining up as early as 7 o'clock this morning to get a seat inside of House of Hope. They're now leaving, they say, feeling inspired by Reverend Jackson's legacy. Thousands pack House of Hope to pay tribute to civil rights giant Reverend Jesse Jackson, the celebration of life for a man who inspired many to act for others, like Gwen Thomas, who joined Rainbow Push, where she saw Jackson's work up close.
I got engaged in, community advocacy, and when I moved to Michigan, there he was again, fighting for economic parity in the automotive industry. And so it's a historical time. Reverend Jesse Jackson served the people. He was of the people all the time.
Jackson's reach and impact felt by many who came out to give a final farewell, leaving inspired to lift Jackson's mission.
I felt all the energy, the positive energy of how we're going to keep this movement going. That's very important that our generation continue to keep the power of the movement going so that we can have a better future for everyone that comes behind us.
There was a common theme throughout everybody who spoke, and that theme was hope. That theme was continuing the work that Jesse Jackson laid the foundation for us to stand on his shoulders and go out there and continue to help change lives in our community.
And attendees say one way that you can keep Jackson's legacy alive is by voting with the Illinois primary later this month. Reporting at the House of Hope, I'm Trey Ward, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Trey, thanks. There'll be another homegoing celebration for Reverend Jackson. That's tomorrow at Rainbow Push. We'll have live coverage on air wherever you stream for both of these events. It's been a few hours since the House of Hope homegoing. You were there early this morning?
Yeah, I got there about 8 o'clock this morning, and the house was full. It was full of hope. It was full of joy. It was majestic, and it felt like royalty. That's why a lot of people had purple on today, because, they want to celebrate the tradition of the African American church is wearing purple. And people were just feeling joyful and thankful, and there was a lot of gratitude. And all of the speeches were empowering, and some were funny, and the music was just celebratory.
And I think a lot of people who haven't experienced that, in fact, I was getting ready for work. I think I told you, and we were watching you and Jose, and then it started, and my wife came in because I was shaving, and she's just has it on her phone and just dancing, and she said, "This is great." Yeah. I think that's an important note for a lot of people who haven't experienced the joy of something like that, gospel music that just lifts you up and makes you feel good.
Right, because they talk about mourning tonight, but joy comes in the morning, and that's a Bible verse, and that's why people celebrate. The chairman of the Chicago Cubs was there. He said he had never been to a celebration like
Catholic, right? Yeah.
He said he had never seen anything like it before, but of course this was a man who passed away, that one of one that people said today. Yeah. So that celebration will be like no other.
I remember covering my first church, it was years ago, probably 25 years ago, going to a church and walking out as a kid from the Northwest suburbs who was raised Catholic, just like, oh my gosh, that was pretty awesome. It gives you instant joy and love and appreciation. But this was so much more with all those dignitaries talking, sharing the personal stories. I really, really liked that too, to hear these people who are famous lawmakers that have changed the world, in addition to Jesse Jackson, sharing how he affected them.
From childhood all the way to adulthood, and to their business adventures and to their political adventures. The stories were just, the testimonials were beautiful, and it was truly a celebration of life. And we have to celebrate his wife of 64 years.
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson was there. She turns 82 years old next week. She was ill earlier this week. She was hospitalized in Nashville, but she was there today and felt so proud and honored that the world came out to see the man she called her husband.
Many standing ovations. I tell you what, Cheryl, I think one of the best of many good speeches was Native Isaiah Thomas, right before President Obama. We were, Judy and I were watching here on the set, and just, wow, I knew he had a connection, but he was just raw, talking about his mom, losing his mom, and how Jesse Jackson raised him up on his shoulders. He kept using that reference. It was pretty amazing.
The parallels of being raised by a single mom with no money and told you were nobody, but then a man comes before you and says, you are somebody. That was powerful.
It was really powerful. So was he, and a lot of people were. And then I told Judy as that was going on, I'm like, President Obama's going to make a reference to the Bulls. I know. She goes, what do you mean? I go, well, he was one of the bad boys with the Pistons, and sure enough, he brought it up. But he is a Chicago native, and he is a Chicago son, like so many great athletes and legends to come. It was really special. And you and Jose and everyone today, it was incredible. You carried us, and you represented, and that's something special. You won't forget. I won't forget.
I was honored. I feel blessed, and I feel privileged to be able to be a part of our celebration. ABC7 was really wonderful and magnificent, phenomenal coverage throughout the week from South Carolina to Chicago and tomorrow and beyond.
Yeah, we're just getting started on that, so it was great. Thanks for reflecting with me on some of our favorite highlights. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got some highlights for you, or I should say some headlines for you as we remember the great Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. Now, day 7 of the war in Iran, as the Pentagon warns the attacks against Iran are about to increase dramatically. Israel's military has also begun what it's called a, quote, broad-scale wave of strikes on Tehran. Iran's retaliating with strikes against Kuwait and other countries that house U.S. troops. There are also reports that Russia is helping Iran with intelligence on where American troops and ships are located. And President Trump, when asked about the timing of the war, said, quote, "It's over when I want it to be." And people are already feeling the financial impact of the war with Iran.
Yeah, well, the price of gas is climbing and the values of 401ks are dropping. ABC7's Miracle Wash talking to a financial expert about the economic uncertainty.
As the conflict continues in the Middle East, uncertainty is growing surrounding the U.S. economy. We're seeing those gas prices start to rise, especially here in Chicago. Rideshare drivers tell us they're seeing the biggest difference.
It feels bad. My pockets are kind of hurting right now because of the economy and everything.
Just in the last 7 days, Gas Buddy reports the average gallon of gas has jumped by 36 cents as the national average sits around $3.34. That is still lower than the average this time last year, which was close to $4, but there are growing fears that the conflict in Iran will make matters worse.
That is not a prediction of what could happen in the conflict. That is our integral analysis of what's already happened in the conflict that is being factored into that price.
The Strait of Hormuz has essentially been shut down in recent days because of the ongoing attacks, limiting movement among 20% of the world's oil supply. That means these rising costs could linger for Americans.
5-6 days of oil supplies that were supposed to be navigating through the Strait of Hormuz have not. So we have a bit of a situation.
You expect that when there's a war, obviously the gas is going to go up.
Rideshare drivers are finding it most difficult to stay on the roads while saving enough money to keep their car going. Lori Simmons has been a gig worker since 2015. She says the state of the industry is bleak right now.
We can't control how much money they take from the fare. And we also can't control the cost of the things that we need to operate our vehicles.
This all comes as the U.S. jobs report was released today, showing a loss of 92,000 jobs as the unemployment rate rises to 4.4%. That's pushing even more people to gig work as costs continue to rise.
I truly believe doing gig work is a lot of people's last stop before homelessness because, you know, at a certain point, you're forced to make a decision if you're going to pay your car payment or you're going to pay your rent.
Gas Buddy says you can save yourself a few cents at the pump by doing a couple of things while driving your car. That includes, of course, going a little slower on the Kennedy when you're not having to sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And he also said that you can take your car into some of those lower economy-efficient settings, maybe take it off sport mode for a bit to save yourself a few dollars.
From the South Loop, Mayor Kawash, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Mayor, thank you. Well, the stock market having its worst week since October following the war in Iran. The Dow dropping around 450 points when it closed. The Nasdaq down 1.6%. The S&P falling 1.3%. Oil is on the rise, shot to its highest price since 2023.
Well, new data shows that the economy lost 92,000 jobs last month, and many analysts had predicted an increase. The unemployment rate rose to 4.4%, and January's job gains were revised down to 126,000 from 130,000 jobs.
Election day, fewer than 2 weeks away. We're taking a look at the race for controller as 4 candidates fight to replace Susana Mendoza.
Another round of wet weather heading this way tonight. When the storms could arrive in your AccuWeather alert forecast is coming up next. With less than 2 weeks to go until the Illinois primary, we take a closer look tonight at the race for state comptroller. The current woman in the office, Susana Mendoza, is not running for re-election. ABC7's Sarah Schulte talks to the candidates looking to replace her.
It is a statewide office with little fanfare, but 4 Democratic women who want to become Illinois' next controller say it is one of the state's most important jobs, especially during a time when the Trump administration is cutting billions from the state.
The comptroller's office pays the checks and also is that last line of financial oversight. All of the local government audits, they go to the comptrollers. The comptroller is the person who is the last person who can raise the red flag if something is off.
State Representative Margaret Croak of Chicago has been endorsed by Governor J.B. Pritzker. She says her experience serving in the Illinois House and working for the Department of Commerce makes her qualified. Croak has raised more money than her opponents, although State Senator Karina Villa is a close second. Villa criticizes Croak's donations because some come from super PACs and Republicans.
I'm not on the defense about where I'm getting my money. I get the money from the unions and from everyday people who want a transparent government.
Since 2016, the office has been held by Susana Mendoza. She is not running for re-election and is backing Lake County Treasurer Holly Kim to replace her. Mendoza says after the Governor Rauner years, she successfully turned Illinois' fiscal ship around, and Kim will continue in her footsteps.
From day one till Election day, we've been running on my experience and the fact that on day one I could do the job.
But Stephanie Kifowit says she is the candidate with the most experience. The Illinois state representative from Oswego is a U.S. Marine veteran, a former registered financial advisor, and has served 20 years in Springfield dealing with government finances.
I know the employees of the Comptroller's office. I know the Modernization Act that's already in place, $53 million, that individuals appreciate having somebody with knowledge and experience in such a critical role.
The winner of the March 17th primary will likely face Brian Drew in November. The Southern Illinois attorney is the only Republican running for state controller. Sarah Schulte, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Sarah, it is right around the corner, and make sure you check out our voter guide on our news app and website. You can find information to register to vote, find your polling place and the candidates, all the races, and it's coming up. March 17th will be the primary. We'll be here, live report
we'll
streaming.
be sitting here.
We'll have it all for you. So
it's one of my favorite times of year with
I know
you.
it really is. You're a numbers man, so you like to add up and analyze. So
we have the experts to help us with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we've been talking about it all afternoon. It's been a very active few hours with storms moving through the Midwest this evening. Look at these photos and pictures and video. Take a look. This is from southern Michigan, and reports of large tornadoes sweeping through the towns of Three Rivers and Union City. Hit hardest. That looks like a movie.
Yeah, it does. There's some really
my
concerning
goodness.
video out there, and I know our
Yeah.
10 o'clock team is looking to get more for us, more video we
Wow.
can share. But some devastating tornadoes just east of us. It missed us, and we are always grateful for that, but
Right.
there are a lot of people picking up the pieces in Michigan. That looks nice, though. We're in the 60s. We
very
made it.
calm. I
Yeah,
know.
it is calm here as the rain moves out, Cheryl. And now
Yes.
the warm-up's here. Like you said, it was coming.
It is here. It is mild. It's also a bit muggy out there. We still do have some rain in the area. We'll stay fairly mild above average into the weekend, but not nearly as warm as today. You can see that rain from Chicago stretching down to the south and really northwest Indiana. This is where we have the storms. Everything right now below severe limits. You can see the lightning, though, associated with this, and also some of these storms losing intensity over the past 30 minutes, but still some very heavy rain from Chesterton back towards Ogden Dunes, right along I-80 here, and then we stretch farther to the south, Newton and Jasper. Now, a flash flood warning was issued because all of the rain that fell in a short period of time here from northwest Indiana stretching back to the west here. So for southern Cook, right along I-80 until 8:45. Improving conditions expected over the next hour as that rain continues to end, but some areas close to Linwood here, you can see Crete, St. John, anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches of rain in a short amount of time, prompting that flash flood warning. So definitely some ponding on area roads can be expected. Where we're seeing the strongest cell right now is just to the east there of I-65 around Rensselaer, and you can see the lightning associated with that. But again, not looking at anything severe. Severe weather threat really is coming to an end for the rest of the night tonight before midnight. Rainfall today anywhere from 1/4 of an inch up to an inch in many locations, and then that isolated line of storms brought additional rainfall to some spots south of the city, picking up a quick 2 to 4 inches. Here is that line stretching all the way up into Michigan. Rob is showing that cell earlier that brought the tornado damage in parts of Michigan, and that was an isolated cell out ahead of this line, but now they're getting hit yet again with some more storms as this system works its way to the east. Severe thunderstorm watch box is up until 10 p.m., likely to expire within the next hour closer to home. But this is just phase 1 of the storm system moving through. Phase 2 is back to the west with a cold front, and that is kicking off severe weather in the middle of the country. So we'll see this rain and these storms move out. We are quiet, like I said, until midnight, but then overnight another line of rain and storms approaches from the west. This moves in between about 1 and 2 a.m. up to the north and west of Chicago. We have those downpours and also the possibility of a strong storm, but that rain will continue as we head into early morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Still some rain around here, some isolated thunder. We can't rule out some ponding on area roads with the rain that continues to fall. By about 7, 8 a.m., it starts to work its way out, and finally gradual clearing expected into our Saturday afternoon as we dry out. Now Saturday will stay mostly cloudy. Temperatures will be near 60 degrees in the afternoon, and then late in the evening, late afternoon, early evening, we start to clear out the clouds and we'll make way for a beautiful second half of our weekend on Sunday, but still the potential of a strong to severe storm as we go into the night tonight. The greatest risk, though, is in the middle of the country with that cold front that will continue to kick on through and get closer to us overnight. So for tonight, we're still looking at a few rain and storms in the forecast. Periods of heavy rain overspreading the area overnight into early Saturday. Then we dry out. Then we spring ahead, and it will feel like spring on Sunday. A beautiful day with highs near 60 degrees on Monday, up to 70. We stay very mild through Tuesday, but the next storm system, that will bring in cooler air as we head into the middle to the end of next week, guys.
And we spring forward. Thank you for the heads up. You can get the latest forecast anytime. There's the free ABC7 Chicago News app. Scan that QR code on your screen. You'll get a link to download. Well, it is time to save you money on some top products. It's secret savings time. This week, we're kicking off some deals for the kitchen.
It's perfect timing for the weekend to think about it. Here's ABC's Tori Johnson, Will Gans, and Morgan Norwood.
I'm Tori Johnson with your ABC Secret Savings. We're dropping limited time discounts right now. Grab your phone, get ready to shop. You won't want to miss these deals.
And we have ABC Secret Savings with kitchen and home essentials. Take it away, Will.
All right, get fast, convenient toasting every time with the Revolution Cooking Smart Toaster. Bagels, bread, waffles, everything comes out right every time. Crunchy on the outside, soft and delicious on the inside. There are multiple options of bread types, no matter how toasty you like it.
Love it.
It also comes with a toasty press to create paninis, grilled cheeses, and quesadillas with no gooey mess. You'll save more than 30% on our site right now.
Love that.
I know. All right, put the Splatter Dome on top of pots and pans to protect your stove top from messes while you're cooking. It retains heat and has an adjustable height, and it comes with a utensil kit that has extra long handles, and you can save 30% now.
Oh, I need that. I'm messy. Yes.
Yeah. All right, here's a must if you're a pizza lover like me. Each pizza pack container collapses and expands to accommodate the number of slices you have. Plus, it comes with 5 slice dividers to separate slices and doubles as plates for eating. Everything is microwavable, dishwasher safe, and BPA free. You can save 30% now with our deal.
Now I'm hungry.
I know, you're welcome. Transform simple foods into signature dishes with Gustus Vitae's seasonings. There's a large selection, all handcrafted in small batches. The Air Fryer Kitchen Hero, gourmet barbecue steak and beef seasonings, even salt-free and kid-friendly choices. Plus, the stacks are magnetic, so they stick to one another or your fridge, and you'll save 25% right now. All right, check out the ingenious bed scrunchie, a scrunchie tightening system that keeps your bed smooth, snug, and hotel perfect. Each pack comes with 1 bed scrunchie and 8 fabric clips to have a perfectly made bed every day, and you'll save 40% with our deal.
All right, no excuse not to make the bed.
Period.
Right, thanks, Will. Scan that code on your screen or head now to abcsecretsavings.com to shop.
Pizza time?
Yes, let's do it.
Pizza time sounds good.
All right, your birthday's next week. I'm getting you.
Good. Give me the pizza.
Okay. Keep the spreadsheets and now, it's attached to the bed. All right, let's talk about some fun stuff right here. Coming up next, behind the scenes with the stars of Hoppers.
It's good. And coming up on Monday at 7, Kiss the Blarney and Skip the Lines. Our stream team is joined by the executive chef from the Dearborn.
Okay. I eat that all the time. The fish and chips.
It's a preview. Well, you can go and eat this. And plus tricks for every cook in the kitchen. The latest news, traffic, and weather Monday at 7 with our team.
Monday.
And with Sam, our producer, let's have those people on the evening show,
the most
too.
Delicious fish and chips.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Humans have stolen their last inch of land from us. We gotta fight back. Let's squish the humans. Yeah. Wait, squish?
Hoppers tells the story of animals who were living in harmony until construction threatens the very place they call home. Thanks to a scientific invention, a college student named Mabel is able to communicate with the animals through a robotic beaver.
Is like, it's an action movie, but it's also funny, but there's also, you cry, and there's also, you know, it's for everyone. It is everything, and I think that's so cool.
We need people who are happy and fun and are willing to fight for what they believe in, and that is Piper, and it shows on screen.
John Hamm plays the mayor who wants this construction project to happen.
What are you doing? What do you want? It's an original story. Yeah. You know, it's not based on a board game or a video game or this or that or the other. It's just a story about community and the environment and how we all can protect each other and lean on each other. And man, how about that for a message?
She seems to have become a Joan of Arc type rebel leader.
Babe, we do not use hopping technology to upset the animal world. She found the button.
Their treachery ends here. Now, let's squish the humans.
Wait, squish?
They squish us. Why shouldn't we squish one of them?
I think people will expect it to be funny, which it really is, but it gets deep and it gets a little dark in ways that like bring out like real emotion that maybe you wouldn't expect.
George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Disney is the parent company of ABC7. We'll be back at 10.
We'll see you at 10.
Three of
Good
us.
night. Yeah.